the power of our words. Just, I want to give you an illustration with this that's so powerful, how our words affect us on a cellular level, down to the tiniest molecules in your body, right? So Proverbs 18:21 says that the power of life and death is in the tongue. But our words hold weight to a degree that we probably don't realize. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So, quantum physics shows us that everything is energy in different states of vibration. Okay, so that includes the words you speak. They can literally change your flow of energy. Think about how you feel, how you really feel when you're around a negative person, right? Just spend a few minutes with a chronic complainer who has all sorts of negative things to say. They're using negative terms, and you very quickly feel your energy just bottom out, right? I know I do. I pick up on energy in a room, the atmosphere of a room. I gather very quickly, and I know that's not true for everybody, but I know you feel a difference when you're around negative people. By a Japanese scientist named Masaru Emoto, what he found, looking at water under the microscope, the effect that words have on the molecules of water. So when frozen, water that's free from impurities will form these ice crystals that really look like snowflakes under the microscope, okay? These really beautiful variety of crystals. But water that's polluted or has some sort of additives like fluoride, right? That water will freeze without forming those beautiful ice crystals. So in his experiments, he poured pure water into vials labeled with negative phrases. And after 24 hours, the water was frozen and no longer crystallized under the microscope, right? It had turned gray and clumpy instead of these, lace, beautiful snowflake crystals, right? So then he tried doing it the opposite way, and he placed positive labels on polluted water. Okay, so water that doesn't, remember, the polluted water doesn't form these crystals. So he's taking water that's already polluted and he's putting positive labels on those vials. And after 24 hours, they produced these beautiful ice crystals. And then in another experiment, if that doesn't blow your mind, another experiment that he did, so that was just, those vials were labeled, right? Nothing was spoken to them. That was the written word. In this next experiment, he was testing the power of spoken word. And he placed 2 cups of cooked white rice in 2 separate mason jars and put the lids on them and labeled the lids. One of them said, "Thank you," and one of them said, "You're a fool." Okay, so a positive message and a negative message. The jars were left in an elementary school classroom, and the students were instructed to speak, right? Just read the labels there to the corresponding jars twice a day. Okay. After 30 days, the rice in the jar that was constantly insulted, right, had shriveled up. It was black It was clumpy. It was like no longer recognizable as rice at all. It was gross. No resemblance to rice. But the rice in the jar that was thanked every day, this is amazing, remained white and fluffy as the day it was made. Okay? I mean, that just blows my mind. It's so incredible. But what it did was these experiments really proved that energy generated by a positive or negative word can actually change the physical structure of an object. Now, I want you to think about just how many times a day do you speak negatively to yourself? Right? Just maybe under your breath or not even saying it out loud, but you think these negative things about yourself all day long. Not realizing that it's those words that are bringing negative energy to you and affecting you on a physical level. Right? Remember, the first experiment was with water. Sound vibration travels through water 4 times faster than open air. Now, why is that important? I want you to think about this. Your body, your physical body is made up of over 70% water. So what do you think it's doing when you are speaking so negatively to yourself? Vibration from negative words resonates in the very cells of your being. The cells in your body are being changed by the words you hear, you see, and you speak. Remember Proverbs we started with? The power of life and death is in the tongue. And it's so true. You have the power to create or destroy with your words. So I want you to think about what it is you're thinking about. Think about what it is that you're saying to yourself every day. Right? Some of us are so much in this habit of just speaking these negative words over and over. And we don't realize what it's doing to our body. Repetition is what moves thoughts into the subconscious, and that's where we operate from. Right? The brain is searching for patterns and consistency as a way of making sense of your world around you. And so those things that are repeated get moved into the subconscious. And your subconscious is running 90% of your daily activities on autopilot. You're not even really making conscious decisions about what you're doing. You're just operating out of your subconscious, which is where your beliefs are held, right? So those things that are repeated become beliefs. So that habit of using that same negative word to yourself over and over is affecting you in ways you probably didn't even realize, right? So I want you to start recognizing and noticing what are those automatic negative thoughts that you're having. And you'll hear me refer to these as ants going forward, right? The automatic negative thought. What are those ants you see coming up on repeat for you? Maybe daily, hourly, some things we just do it so much, we don't even realize we're doing it. So start paying attention to that.